Hey everybody, it's Flyin Ryan here with a review of the HT F801C FPV Wi-Fi. So if you saw my review of the original F801C, you'll know I was a big fan of that. I called it the Cyma X5C killer. This is basically the same thing, but now it has a Wi-Fi FPV camera on it instead of just a normal camera. You also notice the color here. They call it yellow, but I don't know. I think it may be green. It's kind of somewhere in between. In my lights, it looks a little more yellow, but in person, it's pretty green. So they tricked me the first time. I got red because I thought that it was, actually yellow. So I got yellow this time because everybody told me it was green, and sure enough, it is green. But anyway, to move on to the actual details, not just me talking about my favorite color. This is probably my favorite part about the new upgrade, because the original one had that like Xbox 360 style controller, and though it did have optional sticks, I still prefer a hobby grade style like this. And this kind of is like the Cyma X5C controller basically. So much more my style of transmitter. I like this a lot better than the other one. So that was my favorite part about this. But there is a smartphone app, and you can snap your phone into here, and then you connect to the Wi-Fi coming from the quad, and you get a FPV view on your phone. However, Wi-Fi FPV, as I've said many times now, it's not really great. It's got pretty short range and some delay to it, so not really great for actual FPV flying, but it's good as like a little preview of what you're filming if you're actually filming. And another nice thing about it is the camera is so low profile and the landing legs are so deep. You don't need to have anything extra on this. You can fly it just like that and land no problem, plenty of clearance. It does come with the little landing legs, but they are absolutely not needed unless you're going to be landing in grass or something maybe. It also has prop guards and a spare set of props, and also comes with a screwdriver and some screws, I think, for the prop guards, and a USB charging cable, and the battery is a 650 milliamp hour battery. It takes about an hour and 15 minutes to charge, and in this form like this, the lightest form with the camera on, is about 7.5 minute flights with a 10-second LVC warning, and that's the only way I've flown it. I figured, that's kind of what this is meant for, so that's how I've flown it. I did all the testing with all these extra stuff on the original 801C, so you can get that information from that review if you really need that. Since this is about the the Wi-Fi FPV, I figured I would basically focus on just that. So let's see, what else? Let's cover the transmitter details. So we've got two rates by pressing the right bumper, and it has one yaw rate, but it's a pretty fast yaw, just like the original 801C. So you can get pretty sporty with this thing. It actually flies really well. The left bumper is for flips, so you click that and move the right stick in whatever direction you want to flip. It has the same nice LED pods, just like the original 801C. You've got red in the front and blue in the back. And this also has headless mode, so if you press and hold the left bumper, that does return to pilot, and you press and hold the right bumper, that puts it into headless mode. However, just like I've said a million times now, headless mode is pretty unreliable, especially that return to pilot. If the headless mode is out of sync and you hit that return to pilot, it's going to just take off to who knows where. So I really don't recommend using those at all, and I don't really see much point in demonstrating them because I've pretty much shown that those are worthless. Elsie's coming to say hi. She's got styrofoam on her nose. Come here, Elsie. Come here, Elsie. Look at it. Look at her nose. You've got styrofoam on your nose, silly. Always coming in to lighten things up. Right when I was ranting about headless mode, she's like, "No, be funny." So anyway, and this also, I think if you click the right stick, both sticks click, but I think clicking the right stick may start recording on the camera, because there is a slot for an SD card. It does not come with one, but I believe you put an SD card in there, and if you click the right stick, it's going to start filming to the SD card. But the smartphone app for the FPV also has a record option where you can record to your phone, or there's a button to record to the camera itself. So that's what I was using. I just now read the manual and saw a reference to the right stick, so I'm not sure if that works or not, but the manual claims that that's how you turn on the camera. And I think it's just video. I don't think you can take still pictures with this. And I don't think it's HD. Yeah, well, no, it is. They do say it's a Wi-Fi cam HD, so it probably records in HD to the memory card, but streams an SD to the Wi-Fi FPV. So yeah, I think that about covers everything. Looks like it. So again, like I said, I'm just gonna fly it like this. I covered all the extra stuff in my other review, so we'll focus on the FPV aspect of this one. So we'll fly it in this light form. I'll show some Wi-Fi FPV, see if we can get that to work at all, and then I'll start up some onboard footage, and we can see what it looks like when it records footage to the camera. So let's go check that out. Alright, this is the flight review of the HT F801C with the Wi-Fi FPV camera. Not exactly the best phone mount. It feels a little unsecure, but I've got my phone connected to the Wi-Fi signal coming from the camera, and so we get a real-time FPV view, though it's a little bit laggy because of Wi-Fi. We'll go ahead and give it a flight, see if we can do any FPV. I'm on high rates. And if you saw my review of the original F801C, I'm a big fan of this thing. It flies really nice. I like the way it flies, and now they've added a Wi-Fi FPV camera if you wanted to try that out. Not so great for actual filming. I think it's I'm not sure now if it's an HD camera or not, but it records on your phone, so any lag or frame drops and stuff like that you get is going to come through in your recording. There is a slot on the camera for an SD card, but I can't get it to record to that. The app only has an option to record to the phone. So I'm not sure how you're supposed to record to the optional SD card on the camera. But it didn't come with the SD card, so maybe the slot's just there because they're using the same camera that they've used for other things, but it's not actually functional. I guess that could be the case. Do some flips. A little ugly sounding, but they flip just fine. Now while we're up there, let's try some, oh gosh, getting blown away a little bit. I see some jello wobble and some lag, making it pretty hard to actually fly FPV. Yeah, not a big fan of this. There's definitely a lot of jello wobble too. I'm seeing that come through. Let's see if I can reach up here and press the recording button. Alright, now we're recording. And the sun just came out nice and bright too, so give us the best chance for some good video quality. See what it looks like. Now again, it does record to your phone, so you gotta make sure you've got enough room to save it and everything, which I don't have a ton of free space on my phone, so I'm not going to record for too long, but this should give us a good sample of what it looks like anyway. Oh wow, I think my screen is completely frozen, so the video is probably frozen here now. Bring it back, and there we've got another signal. So yeah, I believe the recording there probably just froze while out of range. Bring it a little bit closer now. Alright, let me stop the recording before I take up all the space on my phone. Alright, there we go. Look at the FPV again. It's not bad right close to me here, but a little bit laggy in the short range. This Wi-Fi FPV is a pretty popular trend right now. I'm not a huge fan of it. It just doesn't really work that well. So I mean, I guess it's a cheap way to give you an idea of what FPV is like, but you just really can't actually fly FPV with Wi-Fi. I mean, unless you just keep it really close to yourself. But if you don't care about, having a camera and you want this just for how it flies, you might as well get the one with the Wi-Fi FPV camera, because then you can at least try some FPV if you're not concerned about actually, filming videos. Because man, this thing does fly nice. Alright, well that's probably a good sample, pretty long flight video there, so we'll bring her in for a landing. Nice. Alright, well there we go. That's the flight and review of the F801C with the Wi-Fi FPV camera. And I like the transmitter. It's better than the transmitter for the original F801C without the Wi-Fi camera, so that was a nice bonus. Anyway, check the video description for price and purchase link. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.